Okay, so we're back with our little babies things. First we'll do the one that we put in to dye it all one colour. I've given it a few little stirs every now and then to make sure it's all mixed up. So notice I've got a bit of dye on my hands from before. I'll just make sure it's rinsed off so I'm not cross-contaminating, although the dye shouldn't be active anymore anyway. Now, so as you can see, this has turned out pretty good. You can still see on this one where those slight stains were around the neck, but it's not really enough to be an issue, and I wouldn't be unhappy with that. Obviously the elastic and the stitching won't dye because they're not 100% cotton with these dyes, and the elastic obviously isn't cotton, but the singlet itself was 100% cotton and that dyes quite nicely. So we'll give that a rinse, dry it, and I'll bring it back and show it to you totally dry. Our little onesie that we dip dyed in the gold and the orangey colour. Take the plastic away. Looks pretty cool. Looks like a sunshine. So, and we'll give that a rinse as well. And lastly, we've got our rainbow onesie that we dyed. You get these cotton dyes, when it's wet it looks much darker, the colours look much more saturated, but once they're dry they lighten up a little bit. So be aware of that when you're dyeing, that your cotton dyes will dry slightly lighter. So as you can see, the colours have all blended quite nicely, and except it's all dyed except where the stitching is, and of course the tag. Anything that's not 100% cotton will dye less or won't dye at all. Okay, so we're going to put them away. We'll give them a rinse and I'll bring them all back when they're dry and show you how they look. Okay, so we're back with the little baby things we've dyed. So this was the one we dyed all in one colour. It's come up a pretty colour actually. I think this one, the stains that were on it have interfered with the colour a little bit, but I'd be happy to put that on my little one. I think it's quite a cute colour actually. Our golden sunshine one, as you can see now that it's dried a paler colour or lighter colour than when it looked when it was wet, and you can see quite clearly that the stitching and the labels, which aren't 100% cottoned, they haven't dyed at all, and of course neither have the studs because they're metal, so they haven't dyed. And on the singlet you can see of course that the elastic, it may have stained a little bit but it hasn't actually dyed. The stitching here has actually taken some of the dye, so maybe that is 100% cotton, or anyway it has taken a bit of colour. And the little rainbow one is very pretty. I quite like that one, but as you can see on that one too, the stitching and the label hasn't actually taken the dye, and of course neither have the studs, but that's pretty cool. So all in all, that they have dyed up. I'm pretty happy with the way they have dyed, and I look forward to seeing what you're dyeing when you're using these dyes. Thank you for joining me. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next dyeing video.